Okay? Okay, touch gloves.
All right, this one scheduled for 10 rounds in the flyweight division. Anthony Olascuaga fighting out of Los Angeles, California, taking on Giemel Magramo out of the Philippines. Christina Poncher and Giemel Herring here with you. Both fighters adorning the pink trunks. Olascuaga with the blue gloves, Magramo with the red. Both fighters fighting out of the orthodox position. Nice jab from Magramo to start.
Nice jab to the body, followed with a right hand from Magramo.
Olascuaga looking to get back into the win column after suffering his only loss as a professional at the hands of the WBC and WBA light flyweight champion Kenshiro Teraji in his last fight in this very same arena, Ariake Arena in Japan. And then right back 5 months later, looking to get back in the win column against an experienced opponent, but not near the skill level of the unified world champion.
Still a tall task. From what I'm seeing, Magramo, you know, he came out fast. Throwing a lot of punches, pumping that jab. Just landed a good right hand there, and and finished it off with the jab.
Some body work from both fighters here early. As you see Olascuaga trying to loop that left hand. Good jab there from Olascuaga.
And he needs to get some, Olascuaga needs to get some upper body movement. You know, right now he seems like he's just trying to just press forward and probably be as active as he was his last outing. But again, sometimes you gotta, you know, at this level, you gotta make adjustments. He just got hit with a good right hand right there. Miss Wiley with a left hook.
Doing a good job of continuing to use his jab and stay active with his punch output here early as he looks to loop the right hand, does Magramo. And he lands again with the right hand, does Magramo.
You can't miss with that right hand, especially that overhand on right hand coming behind the guard in the gloves of Olascuaga. And he's basically found the mark with that right hand. Good stab to the body from Anthony Olascuaga.
Yeah, I like how he changed levels there with that jab up top and then down low as he looks to connect with his right hand. Olascuaga also goes by the nickname La Princesa, the princess. And you're wondering, why would his nickname be the princess? But he says in his own words, it's because he's high maintenance. He was told that by Rudy, and he agrees that he's high maintenance, like a princess. So, which I wouldn't say all princesses are high maintenance. I mean, Prince could be high maintenance as well, but I appreciate him being honest and candid about that.
I mean, right now, Magramo, he's putting a lot of high maintenance on Olascuaga, you know, from head and body. Stiff jab just now.
A good start for the Filipino fighter. This one is scheduled 10-rounder. Looking at the winner of Magramo.
プロ戦績は31戦28勝と3敗28勝のうち23勝がノックアウトによるものです。青コーナーアンソニー・オラスクアがアメリカ合衆国出身1999年1月生まれデビュー2020年9月戦績は6戦5勝1敗5勝のうち3勝がノックアウトによるものです。以上本日の第2試合113パウンド契約ウェイト8ラウンド両選手の経歴戦歴でございました。ラウンド2へ。
Round 2. It's a good start for Magramo there in round 1.
And I just want to say this. I believe it's kind of like a gift and a curse in terms of you know, fighting early at a high competition level, such as Olascuaga's. Like, you know, you fought for a world title already. You can't really go too much further back. So you're expected to either continue stepping it up, or you might fall behind in your career. As we've seen with such as guys like Leon Spinks, who fought the great Muhammad Ali early on in his career, and we've seen how his career turned out afterwards. You know, he couldn't take a step backwards. He had to continue fighting high opposition. So let's see how Olascuaga handles that, because right now, you know, he's having a hard time, you know, with Magramo.
Yeah, he has his hands full, as Magramo has an extremely high work rate, as you see him work with the left hand there to the body. And Olascuaga's just got to find his rhythm here and trying to get in his offensive rhythm when it's a little bit tricky, when you just have your hands full with a guy that's throwing a ton of punches, as is Magramo. And there is Olascuaga looking to kind of break down that guard, that kind of hunched over high guard of Magramo.
Yeah, and it's like it seems like he's trying to bully it a bit, but he's being bullied in the process. But this is where experience comes in place, though.
Yeah, there's a nice combination there landed by Olascuaga.
Just got hit 3 jabs in a row, though.
Right back, and then with the left hand to the body for Olascuaga.
Again, I think Olascuaga needs to like kind of invest more into the body, especially early on, because again, Magramo, you know, he's coming in his fight with 23 knockouts. He has far like over triple the amount of knockouts as, you know, Anthony Olascuaga has in fights.
Nice double jab, right hand, left hook combination there for Olascuaga. Looking to pick up his work rate here in round 2, just under a minute to go.
Kind of missed wildly there. And I believe we just heard Rudy Hernandez in the corner say, you got to react. Don't think so much, you got to react.
It's a good way to counter with the right hand for Olascuaga to get him off the ropes, but Magramo continues to be the ring general in terms of dictating the pace of this fight, and Olascuaga maybe got to tighten up those shots a little bit, Giemel.
He's having, yeah, I'm with you. He's having his moments right now, pushing Magramo back, and I believe that's what he needs to do.
Body shot with the right hand for the American fighter.
Yeah, he needs to continue pushing him back, because it seems like Magramo, you know, doesn't really like to fight off the back foot as much. You know, he's more also of a come forward fighter. Good combination from Olascuaga there to push Magramo back.
And I think he's starting to realize what you just said, partner. He's having a lot more success when he's the one that can stand in the center and get Magramo's back closer to the ropes.
Absolutely.
That's a good finish. Some momentum to build there for the American fighter. I don't know if it's enough to give him the whole round. Obviously, we're not, you know, judges to be scoring each and every round, but more success, especially in the last 30 seconds, as you see some of those shots that Magramo was able to get through the guard.
Yeah, behind that guard. But here's where Olascuaga had to, you know, he's starting to find his own range and touch. Push. He got to continue pushing Magramo back.
Rudy Hernandez, one of the brightest boxing minds, and working corner. He manages some fighters. You see him as a cut man in boxing. You see him as a cut man with the UFC.
Right.
I mean, he's just, I just love to pick his brain and talk to him any opportunity that I get. And he also's got a good one in Junto Nakatani, who we're going to see next. I mean, what a fantastic performance in his last fight against Andrew Maloney. I mean, undoubtedly knockout of the year candidate in that 12th round. So let's see what Rudy tells his charge here in terms of adjustments to make in round 3. We got a long fight, 10 rounds to go.
But already I see the adjustments like I asked for early in the first round from Olascuaga, which is some upper body movement. And now you're starting to see it.
There you go. Right on cue, partner.
Now he's starting to box a bit instead of just coming forward as he was in the first 2 rounds. Even though I believe he found a lot of success in that last round pushing Magramo back, this is not what he wants to be at.
Yeah, as he gets hit with that right hand right there.
And the uppercut, right uppercut, followed with a left hook to the body.
That counter and then circle out, right?
Yeah. Bring it back to the center of the ring or slide off the ropes.
Nice chopping left hand there from Olascuaga, but he's eating body shot. Nice uppercut lands for Olascuaga. Back and forth they go here in round 3. Down to the body, then finishing up top for Magramo.
He needs to slide off the ropes, get back in the center of the ring and start pushing Magramo back. Nice stiff jab from Olascuaga. But again, Magramo is the one with the activity level, and that's what the judges are looking at. Activity and ring generalship. He's pushing Olascuaga back and beating him in every corner of the ring. He just got hit with a good combination from Magramo.
You get the sense Magramo likes to throw a lot of these looping shots, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he does throw, but everything's kind of like wide. So if you give yourself a little bit of space, maybe Olascuaga will be able to time him as he lands that right hand to the body, then back to the double jab from Magramo.
And I like what Magramo's doing. He's going to the body a lot.
Back and forth they go, but like you said, Giemel, when Olascuaga has his back against the ropes, Magramo's having success.
Yeah, and he's trying to counter and fire off, but he may fire with maybe like 2-3 shots tops. But again, Magramo just keeps throwing. Right now he's finding success on fighting up the ropes, but I would prefer him to push, you know, the guy who's constantly pressuring you and throwing so many punches back.
And he gets caught with the right hand right there, and again, continuing to kind of have his feet planted right there against ropes. I mean,
it's like 5 unanswered shots is there.
One of the things Rudy Hernandez told me that, you know, Anthony Olascuaga was working on was, you know, improving on his jab and his defense, but he hasn't been able to use much of that jab right now at all.
Or defense.
So if those are two of the things that he's working on, I mean, he's kind of going right back to what he knows.
These rounds seem like this is going fast, too.
I mean, the punch output, we don't have the benefit of CompuBox numbers right now, but that was a lot of punches on there in round 3.
There we go, the body shots. Follow with a left hand up top. And the one thing I don't like is Olascuaga is he's not being first. He's allowing Magramo to get off first before he even decides to throw punches back. Sometimes you got to be first and create openings. There is a good right hand that caught him, but again, boom, he gives it right back.
Round 4.
And like round 4, you could potentially have it, you know, 2-1 or 3-0 to Magramo. Nice counter punch from Olascuaga. Nice kind of combination.
Yeah, he connected there with the right hand. But with Rudy Hernandez wanting to see the jab from his charge, I mean, it's not something that's setting up the right hand at all. And that maybe would be able to slow down that activity level a little bit of Magramo if he just kind of kept that stick out there.
Yeah, and it seemed like in his last fight, Olascuaga, it seemed like he was more active. Tonight, he's kind of hesitating and you know, holding back a bit, it seems.
When you go from fighting a guy like he did in his last fight in the Unified World Champion Kenshiro Teraji, and then you kind of take a step back against Magramo, what does that do in a fighter to your psyche?
I mean, sometimes
big world title, and you held your own, albeit you lost, but still, everything that was coming into that fight, short notice, etc. Can you come in? Can you get up still for a guy like this, knowing that you need to get in the win column, or?
And that's the issue at times with fighters. Sometimes fighters, they fight at their opposition's level. So he came in thinking, you know, I was in my last outing with a great world champion, and now I'm fighting a guy who's probably relatively unknown, at least in America. But still, you know, he's coming. You can clearly see Magramo came in here to win.
Oh, nice left hand on the way out. And I said that because you said of how he looked in his last fight versus how he looks right now. It just made me think sometimes you have your best training camp and you know you're getting ready for a world champion, even though it was on 5 days.
Yeah. So far, he looked better in his last outing now. I mean, he's picking it up now, but again, when he picks it up, Magramo comes right back at him. So he needs to go from offense to defense. He can't allow Magramo to, you know, get his shots after he scores his first.
Down to the body goes Magramo.
And now it's the phone booth fight.
Uppercut. Oh, nice right hand for Magramo, gets inside. Olascuaga looking to counter with the left.
Yeah, Olascuaga he got in a left hook to the body. But there goes Magramo going back to the body himself. And again.
Olascuaga's tough, though. I mean, he's standing in there, taking a lot of these shots. None of them look like they have have had much an effect, but they're scoring punches nonetheless, like that right hand to the body and that left hand back upstairs.
Oh, again,
With the
again,
right
that
hand
left
back upstairs. Action-packed fight here to open our card from the Ariake Arena in Japan.
Olascuaga needs to go back, you know, he needs to work on that defense and start moving his head a lot more. He's got hit with a lot of clean shots in this round alone. And here we go. Some action from the last round. That short left uppercut that stunned him a bit. And again, it was those hooks and overhand rights to the head that I didn't like seeing because of the reaction of Olascuaga at times. He has to wake up. Yeah, Rudy is not having it. Rudy Hernandez is not having it. He's not liking what he sees in it. He has to wake up.
And he told me, you know, both of my guys tonight are in really tough fights. You know, I don't think that he thought for a second that he was going to come in here and walk through a guy like Magramo, especially with the experience that Magramo has, 31 professional fights, this only being Anthony Olascuaga's 7th professional fight. But some adjustments definitely need to be made as he eats a left hand there.
Yeah, and again, where is he at? He's being okay now. Yeah, now he's pushing forward to get out that corner because he knows once his back hits those ropes, you gotta get off. You gotta get off because if you let Magramo get to you on the rope, that nice spin. You don't want a guy like Magramo to push you on the ropes because when he does, that's when he actually sits down, clamps in, and starts loading on those shots.
There's the jab for Olascuaga, 3 jabs in fact. But what happens? He throws that jab out there and he starts moving around. And this is probably, although he ate a right hand right there, that was the longest probably.
And where's he at again?
The fight that Magramo hadn't thrown any punches.
And it seems like at times he's kind of like forcing his punches against Magramo, but they really have like not much of an effect because Magramo still continues to march forward. And whenever time you see a guy, you know what I'm saying, just bouncing around like this, it's basically kind of gives you a sign that he's kind of run out of answers and doesn't know what to really do to keep this guy off him. So right now he's hit him with a nice good counter uppercut, but again, there's one shot here, and then he's trying to move around the whole entire ring. He doesn't have to exert so much energy moving all around the ring.
It was just don't get stuck with your back against the corner. Yeah.
Nice feint. But it's like, yeah, just little things like that. You know, you throw some feints, keep your opponent guessing.
Well, perhaps this is an adjustment that they wanted to make. Although he gets caught with the left hand there, can use your movement, move around the outside. Don't just stand there to be a sitting duck, if you will, for target practice from Magramo. So he moves around. But to your point, Giemel, yeah, he's got to. Maybe not so much because he's also not letting his hands go as he's moving around the outside of the ring.
And just a moment ago, he turned out of the corner, and he could have easily, you know, came back with an attack of his own, but he kind of just stepped out too far out and just bounced around. And now he's allowed Magramo to put him back in that same corner he had just got out of.
Oh, nice right hand that he answers with on the counter. Good combination there off the ropes for Olascuaga, but.
Oh, but he's getting hit with big right hands himself.
Back and forth.
Left hook.
Go here, 15 seconds left in round 5.
And again, Olascuaga, you know, he's having his moments, but if you're a judge and you constantly see this guy is back against the ropes and you see his head snapping back, who do you think they're going to get the rounds to? Let's take a recap of that. Nice counter right uppercut, and he's had his moments, but they come in few and far apart at times.
ラウンド6。
Okay, we're halfway through the fight,
Yep.
and I will say this: I think it's time, to go to Plan B maybe. In my opinion, I think he should start, sitting down and again marching forward, because him trying to outbox Magramo, it hasn't really done him much justice, because he puts himself right back where he's at right now, in the corner or against the ropes.
Down to the body with the right hand for Magramo.
He's got Koto pulling out with a right uppercut from Magramo.
That was a slow shot, but it
Yeah.
went right through the guard there. Down to the body.
Nice
Both guys
counter.
getting in
Yeah.
some good shots there down low. Right back to the body, and Olascuaga looks to answer up top.
Olascuaga's tough. He's a tough dude, though. He's taking some shots, and it hasn't changed his demeanor, but again, they're scoring shots. This is what we need to see. He needs to fight fire with fire and back Magramo just like that. Three right hands, 4 or 5.
Nice left hand lands to the body for Olascuaga. Good action here in round 6. Uppercut just misses for Olascuaga. Down to the body with the left hand for Magramo.
Nice, 2 left uppercuts from Olascuaga. But again, he gives it right back, and then you start to see him, starting to fade slowly and being pushed back again. Nice 3-4 punch combination from Magramo.
These are right now though, no steam on these shots from Magramo, right?
Right.
It's almost like, okay, I'm connecting and I'm scoring just like that, but there's no sitting down on any of these shots.
I'm pretty sure Olascuaga feels his body shots though.
There's a nice
uppercut, from
That was a
Olascuaga.
tricky shot, the way he kind of shot that from down low.
And I see what Olascuaga going for, because Magramo's kind of leaning over his front foot. So, of course, the uppercuts are going to be there, but he has to add something to it and then kind of slide out or pivot around to get out of the way. Nice little body shot from Olascuaga. But here comes Magramo with a body shot of his own. Nice jab. Another jab from Olascuaga. Yeah, he needs to continue pushing him back, because when he pushes him back or stops Magramo in his place, it gives him just a small window of opportunity to throw something else afterwards. Just like that. And you hear him. He said we need more punches, not just one.
They said we need 3 or 4 punches from you.
Yeah, because he'll freeze Magramo with a good shot, but then he'll let Magramo recover and come back with something of his own.
And admire his work a little bit for a second.
Right.
Good action back and forth. Not a whole lot of defense with either one of these guys. I mean, if anything, it's been Magramo using his offense as defense. Wish we could hear the corners a little bit more here. But we'll take a look at some of the highlights there from round 6.
Nice chopping right hand. But again, Olascuaga comes right back. He just needs to be first at times. Nice slip. And that uppercut you had pointed out. Again, he froze him, but he didn't follow up. I would love to know who's the DJ tonight.
Some good music there.
ラウンド7。
Left hook to start from Magramo here in round 7. There's that uppercut. Olascuaga's looking with that lead left hand.
Again, it was one here, one there. And Olascuaga, he actually has a good jab. It's just that we rarely seen it tonight. And right here, I mean, in that instance, that would have been a great opportunity for the uppercut to come in, because again, you see, it's just like that. Magramo leans over that front foot. And Olascuaga, he will get in a good uppercut from time to time, but it's just one shot, and then he'll let Magramo recover a bit, and then Magramo comes back with at least a combination of punches.
Both guys have shown great punch variation
Yes.
too, Giemel. I mean, you're seeing body shots, you're seeing uppercuts, you're seeing a lot of hooks, chopping shots. No lack of offense from either fighter, just maybe a little bit more efficient for Magramo and definitely more output.
And Magramo's kind of, he's kind of slowing down a bit, but again, he's the one still, landing the telling blows at times, or more a bit. But I like what Olascuaga's trying to do right now. He was just pushing him back and beating him at Magramo at times in his own fight. But this is what he needs. He needs to continue letting his hands go. This is probably his best outing so far in this fight. And like I said, work,
Yes.
just work, because he has it. But yeah, bump him off and continue letting your hands go. Magramo seems kind of a bit winded.
Yeah, and Olascuaga is taking advantage of that right now. I mean, not necessarily landing all of these shots, but at least standing his ground in the middle of the ring and continuing to push forward.
And let's go over with what you said earlier in terms of there's not a lot of oomph on Magramo's punches, but kind of arm punches. But again, he just has like that natural instinct just to continue throwing.
He's using his offense as his defense.
Yeah.
Neither one of these guys is really afraid to take a shot or three. As he goes down to
Nice
the body
shot,
twice,
yeah.
down to the well with the left hand for
Oh,
Magramo.
another one. Yeah, that body shot. Olascuaga felt that body shot, that
Like,
last one.
now quick on that.
Yeah, he's feeling those body shots though. Because now he's backing up. There we go.
Oh, there's a little bit of space and some
Ooh.
clinch. That right hand may have hurt Magramo there.
Oh!
No, it is over.
Man!
Wow.
Didn't see that one coming, but he definitely needed that one.
Wow. The most significant punch of the fight that hurts Magramo, and the referee steps in and stops it.
So to talk about a comeback, I'm pretty sure he was down on the cards in this one, and he needed that. And I was just going to say that he definitely needed a knockout, but man, yeah, that's a huge victory for Anthony Olascuaga, man. He showed a ton of heart.
Nearly at the bell,
Yeah.
Giemel.
At the right time.
Wow.
Look, he's
like, wow. He took a deep breath right there, did he not?
He did.
After all that work that Magramo put in, it was the big shot landed by Olascuaga right there, nearly at the bell, that got Magramo in some trouble, and the referee steps in, and Olascuaga is back in the win column with
Big way.
a TKO victory with just 5 seconds left.